Hey guys,
We're back.
What?
Ben,
Eric.
here for episode, 3 now of Hit and Talk?
Yep, episode 3 of Hit and Talk, and our guest is me again,
Eric's video number 2.
number 2.
So, I guess, to start this off, Eric had a little accident. How many months ago? Like 4 or 5?
It was December. Yeah.
3, 4?
3, 4.
Something like that. However long December ago.
Yeah.
So what were you doing?
Well, it was in the morning. I was heading back from Voltec to Jordan, and I spun out.
How'd you accomplish the spin out, Eric?
How did I accomplish? Well, I won't lie, I was going 65, 70 during the winter, blizzard storm?
It was snowing out.
It was snowing.
Yeah.
Pretty
Roads
good.
weren't the greatest.
No. And I did see an ice patch as well. There was black ice on the road. And once my front wheel hit it, because my Scion, it's front wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
So once my wheel hit the black ice, my car started spinning.
Dang.
Yeah.
What could have been, the worst outcome of this?
Well, honestly, if I went right instead of left on the barrier, if I went right, I would have ended up in the ditch with 3 other
So I
people.
guess for these guys watching to understand,
Yeah.
where were you in the road? What was on your left or right? How were the cars around
So
you?
I was on the Highway 169 going south. Yeah, going
Mhm.
south. And on the left side, there's a barrier, of course.
Mhm.
And on the right side, there's a hill and a ditch, basically.
And more cars, too.
More cars as well.
Yeah.
And since everybody was with me, I decided to go left. Less of an accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so when you started feeling the car slide out, I guess, what did you?
Honestly,
do?
once my car started going right first, I turned the wheel left and started giving it a little gas. And then it
Mhm.
started straightening out, so I put my wheel back. And then the car started going right then. So
Okay.
then I had to turn the wheel left to get it straight. Then that's where I lost control because I had black ice right there.
And you just lost it and kind of
Yeah.
front end went into the guardrail, or.
And I just tried to make my car go left side more, so I hit the barrier on the left side.
So when you hit the barrier, did you keep spinning or did you?
No, it just hit it and it just went straight from there.
Okay. So, Eric, another question we have is, what could you have done differently?
What could I have done differently? I could have honestly slowed down go to at least 45 or 50, the speed limit. And that's basically it.
At least you know for the future when
Oh,
when the roads are crappy out, Eric,
Yeah.
you should just slow down.
Slow down.
It's kind of the general rule of thumb, especially
It's a common sense, basically.
right, and especially if you're flying by other people who are driving slow too. That's also not safe because you
Yeah.
can spook them and they can react by oversteering or doing
go
something.
left or right.
Right, because people have really bad reactions
Yeah.
to stuff like this.
Yeah.
So when you start spinning or sliding out, in my opinion and what I've heard and been taught is the best thing you can do is take your foot off the gas and the brake, no pedal movement at all.
Just keep the wheel straight as well.
And if you can, keep the wheel straight. Now, if you start sliding extremely far out to the left or the right, turn the wheel the other direction to counter steer it a little bit.
Counterclockwise, basically.
But don't touch the gas or the brake, because if you start sliding, let's say you start sliding out to your left side, like the left rear end kicks out. If
Yeah.
you lock the brakes in any front wheel drive, rear wheel, all wheel drive car, you'll now just continue to slide that
forward.
direction because your wheels are no longer spinning with the
Yeah.
ground. You're gonna lock your brakes, ABS is gonna come on, and you're gonna slide out worse. But if you give it gas for say maybe a front wheel drive car, or
Then
you can maybe kind of get the front wheels back together because that's where the force is coming
Yeah.
from. But if you have a rear wheel drive car or an all wheel drive car, when it kicks out too far, there's only a certain point where you have the ability to catch it while maybe using gas, especially in a rear wheel drive vehicle.
yeah,
It's-
especially real drive. Because if you're going, let's say you're right, your car's
Mhm.
going left, you can go counterclockwise and give it a little gas, not too much, but to a point where it helps it keep going straight.
Right, and it's super easy,
Yeah.
especially with a rear wheel drive vehicle in the winter too, to give it too much gas. And when you give it too much gas,
And then you just start spinning.
you're along for the ride at that
Yeah.
point. And if you're driving an all-wheel drive vehicle,
Then
Jesus takes the wheel, basically. I mean, there's not
much you can do since all the wheels are basically moving the same motion.
right,
honestly.
and the only thing you really can do is just try your best to countersteer and keep that thing straight. But if you over countersteer, you're gonna throw yourself the other direction. So-
Or there's black ice as well. Then there's nothing you can do.
right, I mean, you can kind of see it, you kind of
You can't. It depends.
That's why most people, unlike you, drive slower and safer in crappy road conditions, Eric.
You're right. You're right.
So, just another point, press the button.
Yeah.
So another one of the big questions, Eric, is what do you think you did wrong?
Honestly, speeding. Speeding during a winter storm is not the greatest idea ever at all.
Right. I
Because there's so many casualties that could happen.
well,
like,
right, and did you have other people?
I
with you
had 3
too?
other people with me.
So that could
That could have ended badly.
that could have been very bad, Eric.
Yeah.
And so when you say speeding, how fast were you going? What was the speed limit?
I mean, you're supposed to go like what during a winter storm, like at least 50, 55. I was going at least 60, 65.
Yeah, so the speed limit on the road that he's talking about is 65 miles an hour.
But during a winter storm, like any weather condition,
Mhm.
depending what the weather is supposed to be like 50 or 55.
Right. Everybody else too on the road was probably doing 45 to 55, maybe 55, maybe in the fast lane. But you
I was going 60, 65.
on the other hand, were
I'm just speeding.
you wanted to be back.
Yeah.
So Eric, what happened to your car, your Scion? I mean, what?
The Scion TC, so many things happened to it. Once I hit the left side barrier,
Mm-hmm.
the back windshield cracked,
Okay.
and the axle of the arm of the right side snapped, and the wheel came off.
And we'll put a picture in too, probably right about here. And
And-
so what else happened to it?
Honestly, that's basically it. Nothing major happened. The engine was fine. I didn't see anything leaking, nor I smelled anything at all.
So, what's crazy too is when I drove past, your tire was laying on
It
its
was
side.
right inside, because of the so the bolts actually, not the axle arm. The axle, the inner and outer tires were fine. It was just the bolts that snapped off.
Oh, okay. So you really didn't need to do a whole lot of repairs to it.
No, not that much.
And how is it today?
It's up and running, but it's just the engine that broke. But that's basically it.
So, but was the engine related to this?
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So, I guess Eric and mine biggest takeaways from this scenario are, hey, if the roads are crappy,
Just drive slow, be patient, and be safe.
because if you spin out, it's gonna ruin your day
Yeah.
or your life, and it's
both.
better to be 10, 15 minutes late
Like then being like dead or
in the hospital or right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing we learned is, Eric, what should you do if you start sliding out?
Honestly, if you start sliding out, try to correct yourself by making your car go straight. But if your car started like overturning either left or right, doesn't matter. Just give it a little gas, not too much to the point where we're gonna spin out.
But in general, if you, especially for the average unexperienced driver, because none of us are NASCAR level drivers who
Yeah.
can catch every spin out, if you start sliding, the best thing you can do is wheel straight and take both. Don't put your foot on the gas or the brake,
Brakes.
because if you do, that can cause you to have a worse slide out or a worse spin out.
Yeah.
So that's it for this episode. Eric now hopefully knows what not to do on
Yeah.
bad weather
Yeah.
days. And hopefully he's not on one of our guests again. So
Thank you for coming, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our social media.
Go look at the Twitter. We'll have a quote out or something for this video. Like, share, subscribe like Eric already said. Thanks guys.
Thank you.
Bye.